last thing I have, I had a question for you guys. We had a disagreement at work. Not really a disagreement, but we had a talk at my job. I have a great job.
He's like, first of all, I love my job.
You should fire
No, I do. I work for a company. We do IT, and they provide a lot of really cool amenities. I can't even talk. They don't provide speaking lessons to employees like for free, right? So like they do, like they paid to camping. They pay for me to go out there for a week every 2 months. You know, they let me work from an office. You know, all this cool stuff that they do.
Let you work from an office. They make me work at home.
Yeah, like free lunches, free all the really cool stuff companies
That's why
do.
he's a good employee and you're a bad employee. They make me work from an office.
That's just the glasses half full. He's like, they let me do tons of work for low pay. It's amazing. I love them.
Anyways, really great company. It's a really good place to work. Anyway, so the disagreement is that there's someone who doesn't feel like there's a fun vibe at work anymore.
It's called work.
So let me get there.
Okay.
So, right. So, it's the vibe isn't there. It's like, well, we do all these extracurricular thing, all this stuff that we pay for. And it's like, well, it's not that. It's just I don't get the fun vibe when I come into work like I used to. And we're a company, we're a service industry, so we're not based off numbers. Like we're not going to get fired, but like we have numbers to reach, right? Just like, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, I want to get your guys' opinion. My opinion is look at all these great things that this company's doing that other companies don't, but it is a job and we are all adults.
Called complacency. That's really what it is. So I've worked for a few different companies, including, and we talk about it constantly, Bose.
What?
When me and Jordan worked there, I would say that company was kind of on the upswing, which encourages innovation. It awards employees for like minimal accomplishments. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Super fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. And then when we worked there later on, and I was there longer, I think, than you were.
I always had a good time.
Yeah, well, I didn't, because towards the end of it, the company then grew to whatever it was. It became very successful, and then it became, well, how do we make more money? Well, cut the fat. All that fun stuff that we were doing, get rid of that.
AT&T did the same thing. Remember when they bought when they bought Singular?
Yeah, AT&T was the exact same thing. So it's a product of just the way that companies typically work, and they're required to work that way. I mean, that's why they go into business.
But if you wake up in the morning and like, I'm not going to have fun to work today, I don't want to go to work.
Well, I think it's a day by day thing.
Because I don't feel like that. I feel like
you got to go to work either way.
Yeah, right.
Like miners aren't like, well,
I
this
get
is
that.
going to be a great time today.
I feel the same way. Like you have to go to work, right? You're paying freaking bills. But the other thing is like it is a job, and yeah, like maybe like the later times when I was working at AT&T and stuff where I didn't feel like going to work because I just didn't like AT&T. It wasn't because of the lack of quote unquote fun. It was just because the commission structure was terrible and the people working there was terrible.
I think I've talked about this. There's like 3 reasons why people enjoy their job. I think I've talked about this. Maybe I have it on front of you guys. So there's 3 reasons. One is like there's these pillars, right? And the idea is like that one pillar can be higher and compensate for a lower portion of another pillar. The first pillar is compensation, right? So money,
pay, yeah.
And it could be benefits. It could be other things that people why they like, quote unquote, like their job. The next one is the sense of empowerment, meaning like you're your own boss. You don't have to answer to anybody. So maybe you own your own business. You don't make as much as if you worked at a other big business, but you get to make your own decisions. You get to go to work when you want. You get to do what you get. You have employees below you. You get to tell them what to do. And then the third one is like a sense of accomplishment. You might not be given all the power in the world, or you might not make all the money, but you're making a difference. Think of like teachers, for instance. Like
you feel like you're going to work and accomplishing something.
Right.
By the time
maybe you're a social worker and you're helping people. You're literally providing a service that helps people in their lives. So it's if those 3 things, one can be higher than the other, but if they're all low or one is just extremely low, then yeah, people tend to not like their job and think it's not fun. That's how I feel.
But I feel like there's a 4th pillar of just good times. You know what I mean?
Well, that I think is a byproduct of who you work with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I think that's like a preconceived notion. Like I don't go to my office where I work by myself in my little office and expect to like have fun, but I still really like my job because of like what I do, and I guess that's the pillar, right? Those pillars are really high,
right?
But my fun pillar is low. But like I don't.
Did anything change? Like
I don't think so.
Is there any management changes or anything like that? Because we had some big.
This guy's kind of sensitive,
other
than that.
And like we definitely would have like the first 2 years of my job, like. I know work was not getting done the way it should have been getting done, but it was like good times. Like everybody had a great time. My boss was like, leave, come and go as you please. Like, I don't care what you do as long as nothing's broken. You can do whatever you want. And then change of management came and it was like, no, you have to be there at your desk, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
We focused more on like our metrics that we need to hit, but it wasn't like AT&T where it's like, you're going to get written up if you don't hit this number.
Well, I think it comes down to what is the corrective action, right? The corrective action is almost as important as like the reward, right? If if they don't sync up, because it felt like AT&T, like if you did your job, or even if you exceeded your quota or whatever you want to call it, it was like good job.
Right.
And then if you didn't, even if you got close, 99%, they're like, "What's wrong with you?" And it's like, "What do you mean, what's wrong with me?" Like 10 minutes ago, you were like, "Great job," right?
Yeah.
And I've never, I don't know. It needs to be trends, right? That's why you take a 6-month review or a yearly review.
I think your friend needs to look himself in the mirror and say, "Why aren't you fun?" Because you got.
First of all, this is a coworker, Jordan.
Okay.
Let's not get as far as a friend.
Your coworker needs to look in the mirror and make the change. Have a good time. Bring a kazoo to work.
That's a
I don't know.
Fun, Wear weird shoes or something. I don't know.
Make it have a good time.
I like to have fun.
Glue a quarter to the ground. Watch people try to pick it up. Like, have fun. Like, do it yourself.
Yeah, there are.
And when he was asked, like, okay, well, what do you think we should do? It's just like, oh, I don't know.
See, he's boring. That's what I'm saying. He's the problem.
Yeah, when I worked at the bank, which has like a huge amount of turnover because it doesn't fulfill any of those pillars. I remember like within 3 months they had like this big meeting with all the new hires, and they're like, what should we be doing differently? And they're like, pay us more. Yeah. Make us not yell customer service every time we need something, and let everyone know in the bank that we have no power. And then to like, clearly we're not making a difference. But you know what I mean? Like, there's just, you have to recognize that you have to.
They like celebrate longevity. They're like, "You've been here 6 months."
No, it was like that.
Amazing.
It was weird when I worked at the bank too, because like, I remember I was a teller, and then I did like, I didn't have any like, it was perfect, right? Which I'm like, I thought that's what, like, there wasn't any overage or under for the money. I didn't take people's money accidentally or give them too much.
Right.
That's a big deal?
Oh yeah, for tellers it's a big deal. And they were like, "You got it right on your first 3 times." I'm like, the machine tells you. Like, I'm not doing the math, guys. Like, so they moved me to like business teller, and I was perfect on that. And they're like, "What?"
The bar is real low.
No, it is. Like, so. But
that was like working at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Like when you take tickets, they're like, "Wow, he can tear a ticket. Like, maybe put him on a register and see what happens." They're like,
"There's a limit for this guy."
Like, certain people could only take tickets.
You look
they
like
couldn't
middle
do the
management
register.
to me, buddy. No, it is funny. Like,
those low end jobs are pretty awesome. That's why they shouldn't be paid $50.
You know what I miss? I miss, and this is just me. It's a like nice complaint to have, but to come home and like have no worries about my job. Like, not even like you literally clock out and it's like, don't even think about your job. I don't remember the last time I had like that moment. Yeah. Because I'm not trying to brag, but like being an attorney, you're always an attorney. Yeah. Well, no, like if you ask me a legal question and I give you legal advice, I'm acting as an attorney and I can get in trouble if I tell you the wrong thing, which I never would.
That's right.
Right.
You don't have to be worried about it as long as it's always accurate and good.
According to you.
Just like those registers. Perfect.
Right. No, exactly. But it was, I remember working at Bose, I'd clock out and I wouldn't even think about it until I got there the next day. I wouldn't be like, what am I going to do to sell more Bose systems? Like, it's not, I've never thought like that.
I felt like that at AT&T, like just stressed out because we had numbers, right? Monthly numbers to hit. I would feel really stressed out.
Well,
but
at Bose.
At work now, I don't really feel like that.
At Bose, we had a quota, but it was a team quota, which, by the way,
the best thing ever.
Jordan loved it because what would you do? You would.
Yeah.
Oh no, you told this story before.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, you
give it to the other guy.
Yeah. Every time I just be like, "Oh, what, Aaron? What's that? What's?"
And Aaron loves selling
walk away,
and then I just walk away.
Genius. Well, see, the problem is like you think in your head, you're like, well, okay, you want to motivate people to compete, right? And then
it's a store commission too.
Yeah. So based off of how well the store did, it really was.
It was awesome. I loved it. Every time I worked there, the numbers were like down. They'd be like, I'd quit. They'd be like, "We're double bonusing," and then I'd come back and it'd be like all
so
numbers.
Like Aaron's doing really well, but the whole store as a general is falling off.
I would just because I bring the fun, but that doesn't bring the productivity.
Jordan does bring the fun.
I bring the good times.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Last thing, just a little news story. This isn't Century of the Week worthy or anything like that, but there is a Marvel announced yesterday or a day before that they are doing a multi-game partnership with Square Enix.
I saw the trailer.
Yeah, it's a little teaser trailer. Avengers will be the first game of this multi-game deal, and then Crystal Dynamics,
who makes Tomb Raider,
who makes the aforementioned new Tomb Raider games, are going to be the ones designing the game.
Excited.
2018.
What kind of game?
Doesn't say.
Hmm.
I hope it's like remember that one game that you played? It was called
X-Men Legends.
Yeah, but there was another one later on. What was it called? It's top down, kind of like RPG, but it was like a beat 'em up. It's kind of like Quake a little bit.
That was like one of the first games I got on 360.
Doom.
What was it called?
What's it called? God, what is that game called? The one that ate Diablo. It's kind of like Diablo. It's
no, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name of the game. And the second one was really bad, but like the first one was really good.
Yeah, I don't remember, but it was fun because they had like everybody in it.
Yeah.
The problem that I see now, like they have a game like that, but it's on mobile and it's one of those, it's free to play and you pay for more heroes and stuff like that. Star Wars has something similar to that too. So that doesn't really fit. So I don't know what they would do. I want it. Don't be a fighting game, please, God. Don't be
It's
Injustice.
Not gonna be
not with the Tomb Raider.
But I remember, like, it seems like it would be such a those were like the games that dominated the landscape for when we were kids, like NES, SNES. Like those were big games.
Fighting
I mean, they were
games?
no, like Wolverine, like X-Men,
Oh, yeah,
Avengers
like
games.
the arcade games,
Yeah, they were terrible. I mean, but they were fun because they had Captain America and Vision and all that stuff.
It'd be cool if they did. Like, do you remember? I mean, it was a horrible game, but do you remember Superman on like Super Nintendo?
I remember the N64 is one of the worst games of history.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't.
I played the one for Xbox or whatever it was where he had no health, because that's always the problem with Superman. Like, you don't give Superman health.
Right.
But the city had health. So if like the
Right.
city became damaged enough, then like he would be
But, like, you
distraught
could
with
use-
sadness
Oh,
and die.
But you could use all his powers and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's just first person. I think it'd be cool to do it like just that kind of like action adventure. And
I
then
think you'll see something similar like the Tomb, like
No.
third person.
I think they should
but like
do-
adventure game.
No, see, they should do like Grand Theft Auto and just like pop into each person and see what they're doing in their normal life, and then make them go do missions. Like Steve Rogers is sitting on the couch eating cereal, and like, is that what
Not Captain America anymore.
I hope you can play as any player. I hope you're not stuck with. Captain
Well, first of all, it's the Avengers, so you're gonna be. Could be a couple of them at least, right?
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I hope it's not like you're the leader of the Avengers and
I
just
get it.
always
I'm Nick
Captain
Fury.
America. You know what I mean?
Oh
Or
yeah,
something
I
like
see what you're
that.
saying. Yeah.
Like I hope it's not.
You're
that.
not a shield
I
agent.
want to be able to pick who I want to be and run a actual story. Like I
Well,
wanna
the trailer makes it sound like there's some like they broke
It's
up and they're
barely- it's not even a
reassembling.
trailer. It's
We
just
have to
a teaser.
reassemble the Avengers, and I know it's a teaser, but it looks cool. I mean, they show the Iron Man glove all
Yeah.
broken and it's like starting to boot up. Looks
Yeah.
cool.
I hope they do a good job. I buy.
You know what they'll do
What is it going to be?
is you'll
on?
be Iron Man defeated without any powers, and you got to slowly rebuild your
Oh,
suit,
God.
just like David wanted.
yeah, just like
God of War.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
He's just like
Yeah.
in the city as him. Being
Yeah.
a
Dragging a
nerd.
suit.
Yeah, don't do that. Please don't do that. I don't want to be Tony Stark. I want to be Iron Man.
Yeah, and Hulk. Like I want to be able to go back and forth from Bruce Banner to Hulk, though. That'd be sweet.
like as like a
Push
a
button.
stealth mechanic.
Yeah, stealth mechanic. You got to blend in. That'd be awesome.
Your torn pants. You're just walking around. That guy's weird. He's got no shirt and torn purple pants.
Yeah, I can imagine some CPU computers saying that. NPCs.
Yeah.
What's up with his pants?
Why is he naked?
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I hope so.
I'm excited. I
We'll
love
see.
the
a good
property,
studio,
obviously.
too, so-
Yeah. So
Do you think it'll be like experience driven or anything? Or you
I
think
just hope
knows?
it's not a cash grab like all of those. Remember, like back in the day. Well, not even back in the day. Licensed games were always terrible.
No, always.
That's why you don't
Except
see him
Spider-Man
anymore. So that's
2.
why this is kind of a big deal.
Spider-Man 2 was
Spider-Man
fantastic.
2 is great.
Oh, okay, I thought you were saying no. I was like,
No, I was thinking except for Spider-Man 2. That
Yeah.
was a really
and the
good game.
new PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man game looks amazing.
we'll
Can't wait
see.
for that.
We'll see. The problem that I've always worried about with Spider-Man is when they like start putting him in corridors. I'm like, Spider-Man is in the
No,
open
it needs
city.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless he's like bouncing around and stuff.
No,
Like,
no, he's swinging. Half the game is like, I just want to swing.
I'm okay with it when you went into a building for like a purpose to get some bankers or bank robbers.
Yeah.
Bankers. Give me a banker.
You were off on my deposit. That was a debit, not a
Like,
credit.
I like that functionality. I don't want everything outside, but I don't want to be just trapped in a room. It's
no, of course
stupid.
not. It's freaking Spider-Man. Anyways, who wants to be next on What You Doing? Jordan, you're up.
What have I been doing? That's not the. Is that the? I
It's
want
not-
my own segment. I want
Okay,
a
what do you
new
want?
Segment
What
Okay.
are you doing,
Jordan.
What
No,
are you
I
doing,
want my own
Jordan.
called like current things that aren't so current.
Got it. Done. Current
Okay,
things that aren't
okay.
so current.
on this episode?
Because on this episode of current things to Jordan that aren't so current,
Time traveling with
I finished
Jordan.
Westworld. What?
What?
Whoa.
Okay, so